Hello everybody, welcome to another project with Charlie's Adventures. Today we're going to be starting on DIY solar panel and battery pack 2.0. In that other video, the first solar panel and battery pack I did, couldn't get the connector to work in the camera. Well, after a lot of trial and error, I found out that the first connectors I got, it's this, see if that's got that listed on here. .1 millimeter by 5.5 millimeter. That's the size, but the problem is those other ones were that size too, but this, the rubber part of it was a lot bigger diameter around, and the camera's got a recess for this smaller one to go up in more. It recesses, and that other one, it wouldn't let it go, so it wasn't going in far enough. That's the reason I couldn't ever get any power on that thing. So anyway, I've got these, and this one, if you'll notice, it's got the yellow tip on it. And these here, when you plug them in the camera, they actually, you can feel them. They don't pull out real easy. That other one, it pulled out real easy. It just never did it didn't go up in there far enough to make the connection. But anyway, that's, I'll leave the description, or the links for all this stuff in the description. Tongue twisted again. But anyway, I'll leave all this in the description of the links of where to get this stuff. And I've got this box here, and if you can see, it's only got one outlet, where you can run a wire in or out of it. But if you'll see right here, there's a little tit right there. I'm going to drill a hole in that. Before we even start, I've got a, I think this is a 3/8 bit, but I'm going to drill a smaller bit right here, a hole, and then step up to 3/8. And that should be right on the back side, right in here, so we can run the wire out and through our tube and then up the PVC pipe, just like we did that other one. But this one here is not going to be out on the, sticking out away from the tree. It's going to be flat like this. We're going to change this up just a little bit on this 2.0. So right now, I'm going to drill this hole right here. It ain't got to be pretty. Actually, I tell you what, might be better off just trying to figure out about where it's at and drilling it from the back side. I think you can kind of see, you can kind of guess. It ain't got to be precise on this. Look there, I dead centered it. As long as you can drill this hole in line with all these holes that right here. As long as you can drill that hole in the center right there, you're going to be fine. Now I'm going to back this out and drill just a little bit bigger hole in it. Trying to get too fast ahead of myself. All right, now we've got us a hole drilled right here. You can see that. That's going to be where the wire comes in from the solar panel. It's going to come through the tube and into this from the solar panel. And another thing I wanted to show you is I've got some wire connectors here with already weatherproof wire connectors right there. We're going to do that this time. Be easier to plug and unplug. And I got a roll of wire right here, black and red wire, It's made together. I've got a bag of these connectors that goes in the camera, and I got us another solar panel. I've still got that other one. This works out right here, which I feel real confident that it will. We'll be probably doing that other one like this right here. One of these connectors that I ordered, it didn't come with the red wire. It only has one pin in it. I guess you know how that is. Made in China, so go figure on that one. But anyway, I'm going to, I just wanted to go over this hole. I'm going to go ahead and start assembling some of this stuff with the PVC, and I'll come back from time to time to show you what I've done there, and we'll get this thing built. I can't wait. I'm ready to get it up there and put it to use, and hopefully it's going to work, and I believe it will. Oh, and we've got the voltage regulator as well that we're going to put in here. I've got them. They're not in here with me right now, but I do have them. They're a 12 volt voltage regulator. Like if your battery's got 13.5, they'll only let 12 go to your camera. And you know, it's just a safety precaution to keep from messing your camera up. I just wanted to come back here a second and show you the difference in these connectors that go in the camera. You can see this one's got a black, and if you can see, this is the bottom one's the first one I had. And if you can see, the diameter of this rubber is quite a bit larger. They're about the same length. The part that plugs in looks like this black one might be, yes, look here. The black one is a little shorter as far as where you plug it in. If you can see, I'm putting them up quite a bit shorter really when you think about it. All right, now in the bottom of the camera, when you take the original one I had, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a recess right there. And if you'll notice, this won't go in it. Excuse me. This one with the yellow, you see how that seats up in there? It goes up in there good. And whenever you do this, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it was like this original one, first one I had, wasn't plugging in enough. And that's exactly what it was. Okay, right here is what I've got done so far. I've got two T's. Got a T here and a T here, and then a cap and a cap. And these pieces right here are 5 3/4 inches. This piece and this piece, and then this one here was 1 3/4 inches. And I think it would have probably been better if I'd have made it 2 inch on it, because as you can see, I had to angle these screws down here on the bottom. You know, it didn't come out right, and I'd already glued it. All this is already glued. And down in here, where I drilled that hole, I drilled it through into the PVC too. You can see it kinda in there. And then when we get our wires, we're gonna put silicone in there and silicone it up. And that way it'll be sealed up. And then we're going to run the wire out this T right here and then up to the solar panel. This one, that first one I made, I probably made it more complicated than what it needed to be. I'm usually good for that. This one here, we're going to simplify it up a little bit. But anyway, you get the picture there. This will be on the tree. like this instead of out like that. Now it'll be right up against the tree. And then we're going to come out the top with the solar panel. All right, well, I'm gonna do a little more and then I'll come back and tell you what I've got done. And, right now would be a good time to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave me a comment. I'm trying my best to get better on these videos, and what few comments I've got already, I've tried to take them to heed and listen to what's been said, and trying to improve. And I appreciate what comments I've already had, but I'm open to more, good or bad. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me. I don't know how to correct it if I don't know I'm doing something wrong. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little more here. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, leave a comment. Love to hear your comments. Okay, now what we've got a T here with 2 straight pieces glued into it, and these 2 pieces are 6.5 inches long, right there. All right, and then we've got this box that we already did. Then we got another T up here, and that piece glued into it is 6.5 inches. And then this long piece here is 30 inches. And it is not glued yet. It's not glued here, and it's not glued up there in that T. We're not going to glue that until we get the wire run down in it. And what I'm going to do is take this piece, and the solar panel will screw to it. Then we're going to run this wire out of the solar panel down in and out this T, and then down that little short 6.5 inch piece, and then down to here and into the box. So that's what we'll be doing next. Okay, what I've done here, I mounted that solar panel with some self-tapping screws and put a washer on it, and then I run that cable down to this T, over to that T, and then down to here, and I brought it up into that hole we drilled right there. You gotta kind of use some needle nose pliers and stuff to get that up through there, but you can do it. And don't glue all the joints. I glued that joint, and that joint, and that joint. And I left that one where I could feed the wire. That joint right there coming down is not glued, and this one right here is not glued yet. And the reason I done that is so I could fish the wire through and then put it together after I get the wire pulled through. All right, now I've got this voltage regulator, and I've got 2 black wires on the center pin where the blue heat shrink's at. Then I got a red wire on the left side and a red wire on the right side. And this is what we ended up with right here. These 2 to the left will be coming from the battery. These 2 from the right will be going out to the camera. Now what I'm doing right now is I've took one of these plugs that goes into the camera, and I spliced on a piece of wire off of this wire that I bought. I don't know how much of it is. I didn't really measure it, but I can right quick. I used about a 28-inch piece of the this wire right here that I bought on the roll. It's a black and a white, or a black and a red together. Okay, now I've took a piece of 1/4 inch ID fuel line and put around this. I connected it right here, put heat shrink on it, and I soldered it. That's the connector for the camera. Now I've got me a piece of this 1/4 inch ID fuel line right here. And what I've done is I've took a short piece of PVC 1/2 inch pipe. It's 1.5 inches long, and I've wrapped it with tape. And I've wrapped it to where it's like a taper right here, where, you know, it'll go up in there, and then the farther it goes, the tighter it gets. Now what I'm going to do is push it up in this box, and you can hear it, it's tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little silicone around it right here, and then push it up in there. All right, I've used this Permatex clear RTV silicone, and I've put me a little bead all the way around the small end of that piece of PVC pipe with the electrical tape wrapped around it. Now I'm going to start this in here, and I'm going to push it. All right, now you can see it's sticking out both sides of the box. I've got it about evenly on both sides, the outside and the inside. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed this wire up through there and this 1/4 inch hose. You can tell that 1/4 inch hose is loose. So I'm going to wrap electrical tape around it till it gets tight, you know, to where I can still push it in there, but it's not too tight where I can't push it in there, but it's, you know, just right, just a snug fit. And then when I put the silicone on there, it'll let me push it on up in there, and then it will be sealed. All right, I'm gonna put the tape on this hose, and then we'll come back. All right, I've got the electrical tape wrapped around this fuel hose, and you can tell it's pretty snug. I've actually probably got too much tape on it. So what I'm going to do is probably take a round off of it if I can find the end of it. Right here's the end. Alright, took a little of it off, cut it off. Now see that? It's snug, but I can still get it in there. That's what we want. Now I'm going to take this RTV silicone from Permatex. I'm just going to put me a bead right around it. Like that right there. You can see that? Now, what I'm going to do, I've been trying to straighten this out to make it straight. When it gets warmer, it will. And when I put it in there, I'm twisting it to where to pull the excess of it on up in there. Now I'm going to push this to where I start seeing it come through. It just barely protrudes to the through the PVC pipe. See, it just barely sticks out in there. Now that's what we want right there. Now I'm gonna let that silicone set up, and then here's the way that's gonna work: is this wire here going out to the camera feeds up through there into the box. There it is. But I'm gonna let that silicone set up, and I'm gonna start working on my connections here. Okay, here's what we've got. I've got the battery pack here. I use wire nuts, that way in case you have to replace the battery you can just do it simple. And I've got a male plug on it. Can you see down in there? That's a male plug. Then I've got a female over here. Right here's your voltage regulator, right there. And it's got two black wires on the center, a red wire on the left, red wire on the right. The left side goes to the battery. And then I've got right here, this is the wire that's coming in from the solar panel to charge the battery. And then this plug and this plug hooks together, that makes the connection for the battery. Then on the right side, I've got this female plug right here, and this one here coming out of the box is a male. This is going to the camera. So on the right side of the voltage regulator, comes through this plug, got the ground from the center, and plugs up and then goes out down here to the camera. Okay, I've put this fuel line in, and the 1/2" PVC tube, I've got it silicone. I've siliconed this wire right here coming through the out from the solar panel. That wire goes out the top, down through that pipe to the T, then down to that T, and then all the way down here, and it goes in this T and over, and then it comes out right there. Can y'all see that meter? I think so. Okay, now the first thing I want to check is this plug coming, just the battery voltage. This is straight out of the battery. I want to check this pin, the pins on this connector that I put on the battery. If I can get enough hands to hold it here. Okay, you can see that it's 12.77. Alright, I'm going to plug this in, hook this plug up coming from the battery, and this should put it through the voltage regulator. Alright, now this is, I'm getting ready to check the voltage on the one coming out, going to the camera. Can you see that? It's 11.77. So it's almost like it drops it down 1 volt, but it's not supposed to let any more than 12 volts come through it. So we'll have, right now, the way it is, with the 12.77 volts in the battery, we'll be getting 11.77 volts out to the camera. So that is a good thing. Now I'm going to let this silicone dry. It's Permatex RTV clear silicone. I already showed you that earlier. I'm going to let it set up and dry, And then probably what I'm going to do is once I get all this together, I'm going to I'll probably put some short pieces of pipe, PVC, on this end and the upper end, and I don't know what I'll do on those ends there at the solar panel, right there and there. But what we want to do is we want to block that off to keep you know, bugs and pests out of there. And I'll probably put a piece of short pipe on PVC on each end of this one and then cap it off. And I don't know what, I may just end up siliconing those up there at the solar panel. We just want to block this off. We don't want, you know, pests getting up in there. But anyway, I think that's got it for today. I'm gonna let this RTV silicone set up, and then I'll clean it and give it a a good coat of paint. I don't know what's got into me today. I'm coughing like crazy. Maybe breathing this silicone. I don't know. But I'm gonna let this silicone set up and clean it with rubbing alcohol, all of it. Put the cover on the box and give it a good paint of the brown camouflage paint like I did the other one before. And then I'll probably end up putting that Gorilla tape that's mossy oak breakup on it like I did the other one after the paint dries. That way if the paint don't cover, at least it's got some brown to blend in. Alrighty, well, I reckon this will do it for today. I'm gonna take a break off of it and then I'll probably finish it up tomorrow. Probably gonna need some warmer weather to before I can do any painting, so it may be a couple of days. We got pretty good snow last night. Got well, I had snow drifts out here that was 12.5 to 13 inches. So I'm gonna say we had 6 or 7 inches of snow. It got quite a bit. And I think today is March the 12th. All right, well, whenever I can get back on this and get it painted and the cover on it and all, I'll do it, and then I'll come back and show you the progress, and hopefully before long we'll be able to take this thing out and maybe let it prove itself. Hopefully it'll work better than that other one did, and I'm pretty certain it will. The real main problem was this end going into the camera, and I know these are, I'm not going to say it's exact like Spy Point sales, but it's a lot better than that other one. Whenever you push it up in there, it does, you know, it just feels like it's connected. You can see it here. You hear that click? And I'm pulling on that pretty good. And that other one, it would pull out. Now I'm pulling actually pretty hard. Here's this other one right here. You never see, it pulls right out. You just barely pull on that. It kind of clicks, you know, like it snapped in. See that? That ain't no good. So hopefully these ones with the yellow end on them, hopefully they'll do a lot better. All right, well, we're gonna break away and wait till it warms up. I'm gonna tidy this up and probably get everything put in the box here. And the last time I didn't put any padding in this box for the battery. I'm gonna do that this time as well. Some foam or something, and I'll pack all this up in the box and put the cover on and have it ready. That way whenever I get a warm day, I can go ahead and put a coat of paint on it and then put the camouflage Gorilla Tape on it, and then hopefully we can try it out. All right, we'll see you whenever we get a chance to get this done when it warms up enough.